He was exact. You don't need to be a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist. All you gotta do is watch the video. He was crippled when they picked him up off the ground and put him in that paddy wagon. The damage that was done to him was done before he was put into the paddy wagon. Any white belt in karate would tell you that a hammer fist to the nape of the neck at the base of the skull will break the spine. An open hand, knife, karate chop to the throat will crush the throat. Those guys got military training and experience. That's what they are recruiting. Soldiers who've been to Afghanistan, who've been to Iraq, or whatever. And that's what they do. They search and destroy. They do not arrest with their intention on taking people to trial. They don't do that. They're not trained to do that. They do what they are trained to do. They are trained to kill. That was first-degree murder. I don't care what Ron Brown said about manslaughter. I read the law, too. And we usually get charged with everything, including the lesser-included offenses. So charge them with everything under the statutes and let the jury figure it out. Have a nice day.
Yes, I agree with everything you said, although I feel like they have a greater chance of success at the manslaughter, but I think that a jury who's heard enough evidence, given the massive injuries, I think they could find some type of murder conviction.
The only problem with this theory is that Gray is seen standing on at least one leg on the edge of the van. So he's standing, and he's also talking. So, you know, the damage that we're talking about, the catastrophic damage that was done prior, the video belies that. I mean, it does. I'm not saying what damage, but
that's where we kind of disagree, because I've been hearing reports from experts that paralysis doesn't automatically, you just don't, sometimes you just don't automatically go. You don't automatically become paralyzed. I'm sorry. It could be a gradual process. So if it started outside and then given a little bump, if you're hurt enough, then a little bump in a van could take you to that extreme level. But if your neck is already fractured and not immobilized, and that's why they immobilize people in ambulances. Because
I agree with that. And there's going to be a lot of medical evidence that's going to become important. But we go back to, you know, whether these officers at that time intended to kill us now. And so I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. And I'm going to go back to my main point.
So how would you explain the injuries? Do you think the injuries are accident?
On Anderson and West.
Do you think the injuries that suffered, do you think the injuries that Gray suffered were an accident?
No, I think that they were a collateral consequence of an arrest which goes on 10,000 times a year. That doesn't lead to a death.
Well, how do you explain it with a healthy 25-year-old man? I mean,
well, we don't know that, and I will say that there's information that he has bad leg. One of his legs was bad before all this happened. But even if he wasn't, I mean, these officers don't know the fragility of a person's health when they arrest them. They've got protocol, they got procedures.
But they know that they're engaging in conduct that could cause substantial damage. They know that if you come down hard with all of your weight on somebody's neck, who's probably 1/3 or 2/3 your size, there's a great possibility, not possibility, there's a great probability that you're going to break that person's neck. And I just believe that that's what happened in this case. So I'm looking at the conduct that was used to take a person down for a relatively minor offense. I mean, the conduct was extremely excessive, and then the post-arrest conduct. So there's two things that happened here. And we always tend to focus on the arrest conduct, but there's also post-arrest conduct.
Let's go to Tyrone.
Yeah, I want to talk about the post-arrest concept and the pre-arrest concept. Would you, and how many arrest officers was it, first of all? How many officers were there?
They say about
Anybody know?
It was 5 or 6. I believe 6 were somehow.
Okay, now,
at one stage or another.
If we had 6 different body cameras from 6 different angles, we would have a lot more answers from start to finish of what happened than we have now.
I'm sorry?
Yes or no? Yeah, see, this is what's going on. There's a lot of speculation because the police aren't wearing body cameras. We're guessing that we said this should have happened. I know damn well he could have died this way, it had happened this way. But without the body cameras that nobody's wearing and nobody seems to care about right now, we still have room. We leave police room for plausible deniability, and a lot of stuff that we do have is based on the police report. So yeah, we got medical evidence that he died a certain way, but we didn't see on the film footage that we do have, we didn't see the initial arrest. We didn't see the fatal blow. In my opinion, we didn't see the fatal blow. And had they even wearing body cams, we would have had 6 different angles and saw what happened. So I don't know why. What's the reason why they don't have body cam on right now? What is the reason?
Well, let me say this, and because when I look at the video, I don't see the knee and the neck, and so I mean I'm not sure exactly where that's coming from. But of the 6, one of them is the desk sergeant at Western District at the time. The other is the driver of the van, and then the video does show 4 police officers around him when they either on the ground or putting him in the van.
But it doesn't show when they first apprehended him. It doesn't show that. I haven't seen it, and it doesn't. If you had 6 different angles, you would have more information than what you now have, and then it leaves less for speculation. You also have, if the police went inside the van and started beating on this guy, you also have evidence of that actually occurred. And I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to get off. Police cameras have been shown to reduce propensity to police 90%, and the use of force by 60%. We need to get cameras on the folks immediately, like yesterday. Thank you.
I would say this. The camera is just one more piece of evidence. It is not the all-encompassing evidence. So that you will have to rely upon testimony of people who are out there. I believe that there were people who were out there who said that the police were beating him. I heard that as I was I read it in some of the reports on the subject. And I think I even heard it in the video camera where someone said, you don't have to beat him like that, or something like that. So
yeah, I heard that too.
The video evidence is just one piece of a long list of evidence. You will have to rely upon testimony, but don't get so caught up on the 4 corners of that video, because there were things that happened before the video and there were things that happened after the video. The video is just one piece of the puzzle, not the entire portrait.
Let's go to John. I'm sorry, Warren. Go ahead, Warren, then John.
No, I was just going to say I agree with Jay Wendell on that.
John, you're in the chat room. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Most of the people who I've been hearing, the attorneys seem to side with Attorney Brown, that it's likely to probably will not lead to a murder first or second. But the angle that I want to point out, I think unlike Ferguson and Staten Island, where you have pretty conservative areas where the issues occurred, in Baltimore, mostly the voting population here wants some type of indictment, and her career would be over if she comes with no indictment, and with her husband. And her husband also think that she's going to have to, a lot of folks here who, most people are not lawyers, they want murder. And she's going to have to explain to folks if she comes, with the manslaughter, why, that's where she's going. But the pressure here is not like in some of these other areas that are very conservative.
So, I agree. I don't think the public's going to be satisfied with anything less than a murder charge, and I just don't see it.
And that, Warren, I've been trying to figure out how to say just what you just came out and said. That's very fearful to me. That's very fearful to me, and yet, I think the misinformation, or miscommunication, and how all of this is going, the public is confused as to what they thought was going to happen today on May 1st.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, and that goes back to that. I mean, not only did he promise a 48-hour arrest of the death of the murderer of Mackenzie Elliott, which is almost a year ago, and there's been no arrest. Then he gave this May 1st deadline that he's going to have all this tied up and wrapped up and given to the state attorney's office. And so we all been waiting for May 1st. Now May 1st comes around, and people are expecting something to happen, and that is so crazy.
I think
He
that's
ought to be
Warren Brown
gone.
talking.
I'm telling you, he ought to be gone.
Well, having said that, and this is just one person's opinion, that's all it is. We talked about the state's attorney and the councilman, political careers at stake. I believe that the commissioner, as it pertains to this city, political career is at stake, and I don't believe he will be the commissioner this time next year. Now, that's just an opinion.
And Coach, I'm gonna tell you, And I agree, but I also think the mayor's political career is going to be tied.
Oh, absolutely. That's a given. That's a given.
Hold up. What do you mean by that?
Uh-oh.
Well, because, you know...
Now we're talking to you, Jay. I'm not talking to you, Warren. What do you mean that's a given, Coach?
I mean, that's a given, meaning that there are a lot of people, the majority of the people are looking at this, and they're saying, at least right now, that we need new leadership.
Uh-oh.
And a key, right now, if this thing does not end on what most of the citizens would deem a positive note, and something comes out of this positive, yes, that's what I meant by her political career.
Well, I agree.
Both locally
I agree
and
with
statewide
Sharpton.
as a state.
I agree with Sharpton when he stated, "Don't blame the mayor for what the last 50 years of mayors and governors didn't do."
Last 50 years.
And
yeah,
so
we
there
did
we
say
go.
that.
Let's go with Byron.
Byron.
Good morning. I don't blame her for the last 50 years of what's been going on, but I blame her for carrying on the tradition.
You were calling on the topic of what?
I'm calling the topic that we're talking about.
All right, that's not the topic. That was a coach response. The topic we have in front of us.
Even let me talk.
I will, if you're going to, I'll tell you what, I'll put you on hold. When I come back to you, if you're ready to follow what I have, we can get it done.
That's right.
9:20 evening on 1010. Let's go with Lee. Lee?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, look, first of all, they came out with that report saying the guy in the wagon,
That's what a host do.
say he heard
Get
Mr.
on
Gray
talk
over
about
there
what's up.
saying in his head or whatever. They trying to say we're doing that. Last night on CNN, the dude came out and said the guy came out and said it was a lie. He didn't say that. So I feel like the rumors about to start coming out. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to throw the case away or throw the case off.
Now, you know what just happened? You know what just happened when they did that? When the guy said it was a lie, that took the police officer.
Yeah, the guy was on CNN. That was in the cruiser.
The police officer's excuse away from them because they were going to say that that Fred Gray's injuries were self-inflicted. Well, this guy's saying I didn't say that. So
and I think the police put that room out there just to start the case up.
He's not going to be shown to be credible, so his testimony would be discounted.
And the man was incapacitated. They put him in there, so everybody seen the video. He wasn't in condition to be throwing himself around or trying to hurt himself. He had handcuffs on, then he had shackles on. So how you going to intentionally try to hurt yourself? That just don't make sense.
It's 9:30 here on 1010 WOLB. Family, the way it works, I have these two very fine attorneys on my Newsmaker line, and at the same time, the line that you come up on, it does at times conflict. So I'm going to ask if you will to listen and see if they responded, and then you can share your voice, because all three voices, we've got a concern that obviously it's not making good radio in terms of your hearing, and then the Q&A going correct. All right? Thank you much. I'm also at this time, I'm happy to share with you that the call to prayer, the 1 hour prayer service, will be tomorrow from 8 until 9 a.m. It's going to be at the Douglas Memorial Community Church, 1325 Madison Avenue, and that's where the very fine pastor, Dr. Sharon Todd Yearly, will be hosting, and we will be there. I'll say more in the next few minutes about it. It's a Lottie, Dottie, and everybody welcome to come tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, 1 hour prayer service at the Douglas Memorial Community Church, 1325 Madison Avenue. 9:31 here on 1010 W.